The following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's the music, movies, and shows you love.
As if we care.
And hate.
You ain't gonna like it none.
And love to hate.
I didn't expect that at all.
This is the Broken Remote.
And coming to you live on tape on this Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. It is a cold night in the Northeast as literally kind of like overnight, Mother Nature just said, fuck everybody in the North. I'm just going to dial down the heat, dial up the cold. Do you dial up the cold? I think you just dial down the heat. And just
you dial it up. Let's just call it that, yeah.
Yeah, you know. And sure enough, it has just been frosty. Not a good time for your baseboard heat to go out, but that is exactly what happened to Et Moi. Winning. Winning.
Oh, we're going back to 2007. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Remember how it is. Anyway, so what's good in the hood there, Will? How you
What's
been?
good in the hood? Just too much traveling, man. Everyone's getting married. Everyone's running around this way and that. Everyone's just trying to get away from having to do work right now. I feel like there's something about October where everyone is just like, oh, that's right, summer's gone. The holidays are 2 months away. I need to take off now for any of those remaining vacation days. Because I'm feeling it too, dude. I'm so over it.
A lot of people not doing a lot of work. It seems like everybody's just kind of punched out. It's almost like it's like December and people are like, fucking Christmas is next week.
I was going to say, when you have that third week in December when you're like, I need to talk to Carly or Charlie right now. Otherwise, everyone's going to get fired. And Charlie's like, sorry, out of office for the next 4 weeks. Hope you guys have a great rest of your, Christmas break there. And you're like, oh, there goes the business. Are screwed.
Well, the fortunate thing is that one way or the other, we will be moving in a different direction in like 3 weeks. And I cannot wait for it to just be fucking done. Because this last stretch here of the past like 2 weeks, and now we've got another like 2 weeks worth of it.
I was going to say, dude, everyone's been so insanely busy for seemingly no reason recently.
No reason. But, I cannot take any more of the two candidates popping up on every single one of my TV screens, fucking podcasts. Come here, talk to us, you fucking assholes.
Today, dude?
I did not.
They're both going to be on Rogan, supposedly. Not at the same time, but they're both apparently going to be on Rogan.
So
which is
I heard that,
dude.
Well, no, I heard that he was going to do it. I did not hear that she was going to do it. So that must be a newer development. Maybe the past
that was today.
48 hours today. Yeah. So I had heard that he had agreed to do it, which felt to me kind of loaded because I know he's not a Trump fan, but I feel like this was always the plan to.
So you get the bro vote.
Put you out there, and then finally in the last like 3 weeks when it really matters, then I'll throw you on for some mega numbers, view counts, and you can do your thing. But she's been following, his course of action.
She was on Call Her Daddy, dude.
She was on Call Her Daddy, yeah.
My sister, but she listened to that one.
And she said something to the effect of, oh, well, I really love what you guys do here. And they talk about fucking having cocks in their mouth. It's like, okay.
I was going to say, I was like, I mean, if they talk about that, I will listen to that episode. Yeah.
They talk about sex and all kinds of other shit. What are they doing here?
On the Broken Remote, we're going to have special guests next week of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump talking about everyone's favorite movie, Joker 2.
Yes!
So excited to announce this.
Tune in. You're not going to want to miss that one.
We're going to ask her if she thought it was good, and she's going to laugh very nervously for the entire time. And then we're going to talk to Donald Trump about it, and he's going to say he was really sad in the first one when the Waynes died because he really identified with them. And that's pretty much where we're going to go.
It's true. It's damn true. And from everything that I have read, the Joker Folie, I mean, it's been covered how bad it's doing. Yeah, whatever the hell that means. It has been established that it's not doing well financially. Actually, I think it was a historic drop for week 2, 82%.
They said it was doing worse than Morbius now. which just says a lot. I feel like okay, so like, what were your thoughts on the first Joker movie?
Okay, as I take a little
As
swig here.
I asked at the worst time there, dude.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens, brother. It happens. Everything happens at the worst time. My boiler going out when it's fucking 20 degrees outside is the worst time. But that's when it happens.
Shot down.
Yeah,
the weather shot down in temperature like the Joker movie shot down in box office return.
Oh, see what he's doing there. See what he's doing there.
This is why we get paid the no bucks.
That is phenomenal. Congratulations.
Brought to you by Squarespace.
Very good. Well, oh shit! Now I just forgot what we were talking about. Joker Folie. My thoughts on the first one. Yeah. So
the first one. Yeah.
I was not a fan. I thought it was okay. I mean, I watched it. It was kind of Taxi Driver, but it was Joker. Instead of Robert De Niro being a crazy taxi driver, it was okay. So and the King of Comedy thing, and so the part about it that I just couldn't buy into was the Arthur Fleck character. Now, obviously, we'll get to this in a little bit. It doesn't really matter about Arthur Fleck, but envisioning him as the Joker, to me, didn't make any sense at all. Because the Joker always seemed to be, if not a super intelligent enough, and definitely an alpha dog. Right? Whether it was Cesar Romero or Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger, and I didn't see any of these.
They ran the room. Like they were chaos incarnate.
Yeah, they're alpha fucking jokers, man.
They deferred to nobody. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you watch Arthur Fleck and you're like, this guy's a fucking puss. Like this is the Joker? I don't get it at all. So was it an entertaining watch? I mean, a little bit, but I just couldn't get into the characters because it wasn't
That's
anything
so funny
new to
you
me.
say that. Yeah. Also, by the way, because you know who else had the same opinion about Arthur Fleck didn't seem like the Joker?
Who?
Apparently Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips based on the ending of the second one, dude.
Oh, see what he did there? Ba-bing.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I mean that literally because of what they do in the end of the second one.
Yeah, so now to you, your thoughts on the original Joker before we get to Joker 2.
I liked it, dude. I thought it was a really good movie. Like, the acting was great. I knew watching it, I was like, this is a real work of art, a really good homage to King of Comedy, Taxi Driver. I also knew I'm never going to watch it again. It is not The Martian. Yes. It is not any of, like, those movies that'll pop on and go, like, yeah, I could rewatch Airplane again.
Right. It's a one-watch.
It's a one-watch. But I was like, this is a good movie, though. Okay, great. Glad I watched it. Also knew when I saw news of the sequel with the French title or whatever the hell that is, I was going, does this need to happen? Well, maybe they're going to kill it. Lady Gaga, it's going to be a musical, which, by the way, I also didn't know. I was apparently one
Nobody
of the
did.
I was the only person apparently that knew it was a musical before it came out.
I think like a week or two before it came out, I think all of a sudden I started hearing things about a musical. But before that, I had heard nothing about a musical.
I saw Lady Gaga as what's-her-face? Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
And I
think she's just Quinn in this movie.
Yeah, whatever her name is. But like, okay, I grew up on Batman the Animated Series, which is where she comes from. So I'm a fan of the character. Like, she was fun. She was a good, like, side chaos to the Joker, where she's like clearly toxic relationship.
I did not know of her growing up. So, I mean, for those not in the know, Will and I have a little bit of an age difference between when I
2
remember.
Years. Yeah, I'm a little old.
2-3 years. Yeah. And so I don't remember Harley Quinn ever, right? Like all the Batman, like the 60s Batman repeats that were on forever. It was just Cesar Romero. There was no Harley Quinn. I kind of remember it from the animated series, but I don't think it was right out of the gate in the animated series.
It was because like she literally came out, dude. Like the reason so many of my generation are attracted to juggalos and Insane Clown Posse is because of that.
The juggalos.
You just see his shapely
something
clown
Ray.
figure, dude.
What are the two juggalos? Or what are the two guys? Juggalos are their fan base. It is Crazy Ray and oh god, I hated those fucking guys.
Insane Clown Posse, dude. Take me back.
members.
ICP.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't want to look at the screen because I
want
want to see
myself here. Oh, so you got it right.
No. It's oh, damn it. Oh, the guy was just on my. He was just on the tip of my tongue. The hell is his name? Oh, now I got Crazy Ray in my head, and that's not even close to what it is. Oh,
dude,
fuck
that's
it.
their
I give
names.
it up.
That's insane.
I give it up. Violent J and Shaggy. Oh, Shaggy Too Dope. That's what it was. Shaggy Too Dope. Yeah, because I was.
ICP.
Yeah, Shaggy Too Dope. I was thinking about. I forget what I was thinking of, but I got completely thrown off. But yeah, Violent J and Shaggy Too Dope. But I'll tell you, man, they had quite a following. I mean, I don't think they ever sold records.
I was to say, what do you mean had? Yeah.
Yo, I guess they still
right
do.
Here,
They got to be super.
dude, this
old
is a
at this
podcast.
fucking
People
point.
don't know I'm wearing full white face with the black markings right now.
I know. Well, I do have StreamYard ready to rock, and it might. I'm considering taking away the curtain and letting everybody into the
finally seeing
into the circus that is we. But I got to figure out actually how to do it first. But yeah, so I guess they still have
two people. Yeah, there's me and then the person who's signing for me. That's what's actually happening.
Yeah, well, I really would love to figure out how to do it and then fire up videos like everybody does. I mean, it's got to be pretty easy because I see these kids doing it. But then again, it's kind of like, I don't know.
They just use their parents' phone and they have like an $80 billion bill at the end of the month. They go, do you know why we have a Spotify podcast premium thing here?
Well, everybody on the goddamn planet has money now, with the exception of me. Yeah. So I'm sure it's very easy for them to
No. It's not they have money. They have massive amounts of debt they don't talk about. I know because my job is talking to people now, and I go, I'm sorry, you have what? Yeah.
I know there's people out there with debt, but I just feel like everybody that I bump into has money and like they don't have debt.
Dude,
I'm sure there are jokers out there.
I thought that was on purpose. That was smart.
Was not. See what you did there? You still got your fastball.
This is why people come back and tune in to the Broken Remote podcast. It's for these things right here.
Yeah, so like I said, I think some jokers have money, but have debt, but I think for the most part, the people that I talk to and meet, I feel like they all really have the fucking money. So frustrating. But you get to talk to the people that don't. So
well, they don't tell you at first.
They're
always like, well, I'm doing pretty well for myself. And you're like, yeah, so how was last month? You're 45 and you have $3 for retirement. And they go, well, I have to buy the new Fortnite. So this is a real conversation I had, by the way, earlier this week.
Get the fuck out of here.
This is a real conversation. Well, let me just be, we got to make sure we're buying the Fortnite skin every single week. And Bradley over here, well, you know how he is. He loves his blacksmithing classes where he forges swords. Yeah, I really like the blacksmithing classes for church. And this is, by the way, a real couple. That is really how they sounded. And those are both two things they actually said to me.
Oh, my God. Seriously? Fortnite skins and blacksmithing?
He does blacksmithing classes. They have no money saved. It's just like, I was like, are you kidding me? What the fuck is this?
I mean, if you're spending it on that, look, I don't have money saved, but I'm paying for a roof over the heads of my kids and money on the table and insurance and the rest of it. I don't go to blacksmithing classes.
I was going to say, to be honest, dude, even now I'm like, that does sound pretty fucking dope. It's like, why are you in debt? Learn how to forge swords. What the fuck are you losing money for?
Right. I bought myself a Glock 17.
I wanted to put money in an investment that went down because Jerome Powell.
I learned how to forge a sword, idiot.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this goddamn Excalibur hanging on my mantle here.
Yeah, when the end times come, I can actually forge my weapons. Yeah, get the hell out.
Would be nice, right? I mean, especially when the zombie apocalypse comes, November 8th or whatever the fucking election day is.
I was going to make the same joke. Okay,
nice. Great minds think alike. But yeah, like I bought myself a Glock 17 during COVID, and I was like, I'm just going to be the best marksman ever.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know, right? Me and her got a lot in common. And I'm like, I'm going to shoot this thing forever. And then I was like, oh, my God, it's $1 a round? I think I'm going to pause on that one. And now the price has dropped quite a bit. And guess what? I don't buy anything. Why? Because it costs fucking money. It's not cheap to go
so your
shooting.
son was like, Dad, let's go to the shooting range. Maybe for Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Oh, what did Santa leave in your stocking? He left me 100-round count of 9mm Lugers. Okay, good.
Dad, this is scaring me. Well, scares me too. Anyway, moving on.
So yes, there are people that obviously don't have money, especially if they're harping on skins from
Bro, if I
Fortnite
can't
and
look
forging
like
Excaliburs.
if I can't look like Spider-Man from the New 52 series or whatever, like, what's the point? Why do I make money? I need
What
to
is the
look.
new 52 series?
I think I'm
You like
mixing up on
drop that in
DC.
there, like, oh, of
I
course,
think
everybody would know.
I think it's a comic series. I think from DC, but I just remember it being that's the first series name I could remember in my head of comics. So I just equated the two, which means the one virgin that listens to this podcast that knows the difference there is going to send a comment somehow. Be like, well, actually, it's me. I'm the virgin. I'm the virgin that listens to it.
Yeah, I do think Series 52 that you talk about is a DC thing, right?
God, I'm such a loser.
I think it is. I think
Son
it
of a
is.
bitch.
Well, you said something in it, and it rang a bell. Let me see.
You're right.
DC Comics, Series 52.
See, we're going around the Joker too right now. This is all
52
pertaining-
comic. 52 is a weekly American comic. DC, blah 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 blah. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, we're off the tracks here, but
What else is it doing?
well, we're going back to Joker, right? So, let's just go back there now. So, Joker 2, you were talking about Harley Quinn and how you remembered it from the comics. Not the comics, sorry, the cartoon. And then I was saying, like, I don't remember her from the cartoons originally, then I do remember from the end. So, you were saying Lady Gaga, you were looking forward to it, but you think
I was
differently,
like,
etc.
Lady Gaga, they're making a musical. Okay, maybe they're going to go in the right direction here. And
oh, by the way, hold on. What we do here is also called the weave.
The Wii. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah,
I
see,
think I get that reference.
fucking. This is also the weave, and for those that are not in the know,
Educated. And we're not talking
Will
about
and I have
the
been
hair
doing
of
the
women in
weave
Harlem.
now for like 2 years, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, the great Donald J. Trump can say that he is the creator of the weave, but we weave here quite a bit. So,
Just
anyway.
like the women in Harlem. Exactly.
Exactly. So continue. I'm sorry. I just had to say we weave.
Yeah,
We fucking weave.
I say, y'all got to look on Urban Dictionary. I'm not explaining that. Yeah, you guys figure it out. Whoever listens to this.
The weave is definitely going to catch on like wildfire, right? And everybody and their brother's going to say that we do the weave.
Every NFL play where they just slightly get out of the way, dude, will be the weave for the rest of this year.
Every podcaster is going to say, like, do you weave? Yeah, I weave too. Yeah, weave is the way to go.
Yeah, I got the weave, the in and out.
Right.
Bob and weave.
I mean, it was always known historically as stream of consciousness, but obviously now it's called
That's
the
gone.
weave.
It's overrated, dude. Get it out of here.
I call it the weave.
The weave.
Weave. People think I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's the weave.
But sometimes I got to play. Yeah. Yeah, now it sounds like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I know.
Got to work
I
on my
can't
Trump,
do it.
dude. Yeah.
I can't. I've been practicing my Kamala hand movements as I watch everybody else.
I said, did I send you the one about that one guy who does like the perfect impression of? He's like, so here is
I
what
saw
we're
it.
planning. The thing with it is that you stole my tater tots. You stole. It was something like I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, well,
But he
there's
stole.
also the other girl who has become like internet famous because she does Kamala too.
I don't want to talk about. Oh, I thought you were saying
And she
Hawk.
kind of
Well,
looks
that's a-
like
that's a
him. She kind of looks like
conversation
him. Kind of looks like her too, and she does a very good impression. And now I just saw her on Instagram with Tyler Fish. Do you know the comedian Tyler Fish?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really funny because he was just kind of floating around. He started doing Trump. He was doing impressions, and he was good. He started doing Trump, and for whatever reason, it caught fucking fire. And then I think liberals went after him in one of his shows, and so then he
That
just
does
blew
sound
up.
familiar.
And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, now he's on Gutfeld and all the rest of it. So anyway,
Oh, of course.
he's got
Yeah,
a
that's
trucker
always-
hat. He's got a mustache. He goes for kind of like the bummy, I don't know, maybe
no,
a
you
bummy
said
Texan
trucker.
look.
Dude, you said the moment you described the mustache, we all know who he's going for. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, but then I just saw on the internet, I don't know, a
He's
couple days
going
ago.
for, they've had their aunt eaten by a gator, but which aunt you have to specify because there's actually two of them that got eaten by the same gator, old Slim. Yeah.
And he's been going around with her now doing things. So he does his Trump, and then she's in full friggin' Kamala regalia. And
Okay, I
it's pretty
gotta
funny.
say that.
Anyway.
I said that does sound just like
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, but once again, I digress. We were talking about Joker and Joker laughing and Harley Quinn.
Oh, dude, it's just
Kamala
like
sounding like Joker.
It's the same thing with the. I mean, this is a conversation we've been harping on the entire year, dude. Ultimately, for this movie, it's just like Joker won, even though I'm going to call it homage. I'm going to say it was relatively original. They had De Niro in there as that comedian guy that gets shot in the movie. I'm going to call it homage. I'm going to call it original, even though obviously it was taking a lot of elements from things. Joker 2, dude. Like, how obvious of like just a reach for money can this possibly be?
Well, now this is Todd Phillips, right?
Yeah.
So
Dude,
let's just remember who Todd Phillips is.
I was going to say, I think everyone forgot and then remembered because of this movie.
Well, when this came out and I saw the second trailer, the first thing I thought of was, holy shit.
Hey, everybody, there's a shit cloud coming.
This is The Hangover all over again.
Yeah.
The Hangover series all over.
My
Fantastic one, and then I'll just take the money after that and mail it in.
I want to say the dude has great ideas, but he has never seen a paycheck that he's turned his nose at, is my interpretation of Todd Phillips.
But I agree with you. The thing that's crazy to me about his career trajectory is he has these fantastic first run things. And it's like, how do you miss so badly on the second one? And then in The Hangover, the third one is like horrifically bad.
The third one I respect just because, like, I remember walking out of the second one, dude, with my friend Rory, and we're just going, that was beat for beat the same movie.
Same movie.
Love the concept of The Hangover. And the second one, still really funny. But it was the same thing.
It didn't laugh nearly as much.
Nowhere near as much. Nowhere near as much. But it's still
I've
funny.
rewatched it, and I can't rewatch it. It's not a rewatchable movie.
Well, the first one I was with my dad the first time I saw the first one, dude, and I was like, there's only like 3 movies ever in my life I think that has happened. I was on the floor sobbing laughing during the first one.
To that point, my wife and I saw it in the theater, and it was unbelievably funny. And I think that might have been maybe that or Superbad, which I think came out around the same time.
Was great too, yeah.
I think those might have been kind of like the last comedies I remember seeing in the theater and genuinely being utterly surprised and like happy with.
Like they totally got you. Yeah,
like the money that I spent.
Totally agree.
And I can't remember anything after that.
That's really sad that I totally agree. I'm trying to think of another one, but I don't think I've ever seen one that was as good. That was in 2009.
That's like 09 and 08, right?
That's almost 20 years. That's insane.
Well, because after that, that's when they started dialing up cancel culture. Mm-hmm. Remember? And then they started going after, it was a lot of people on Fox News, right? Like Bill O'Reilly got booted, and the list goes on and on.
Well, I mean, there was maybe a little more than that cancel culture, because they were.
Well, they were just different cancel culture, but I'm just saying cancel culture in general. They weren't going after Bill O'Reilly because he was, talking about tits and chicks and, alpha male jokes. But
I'm more familiar now. I feel like nowadays when you hear cancel culture, it's someone's like, I don't really like pretzels or beer. And then the Germans just come out. Oh, that sounds really bad. But the Germans just come after just get rid of them. Not the first time they've done that.
All right, let's just do a check here, and we'll eventually get back to the Joker 2. But
it's all related to Joker 2, dude. Where just like he makes these insanely well received first movies that like just do phenomenal, and then the studio comes back and says, "Here's 4 times the money," and he goes, "I'm not going to do anything different. This is a Mad Lib." And he just ruins the goodwill that he just made.
Yeah.
He just goes through this every 15 years, I guess.
I was just floored that he did the exact same thing a second time and got away with it. Like, how do you do that? How did Warner Brothers not see this happening? And been like, dude, Todd, like, can we see the script first? But from what I read, they gave him carte blanche. They were just, they just said, knock yourself out.
When you're reading about it, dude, did it not sound exactly like Last Jedi?
When I heard what? When I heard
Like,
saw the trailer?
The story, like the stories of like what it was like. Because I've been doing way more research on Joker 2 this week than I ever need to. But everything I've read about like behind the scenes and when they were making it and the writing for the movie, it all sounds like beat for beat what Disney did with Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi.
Well,
where they're just like
you
can
would
do
know
whatever
more than I then because I didn't read that much on it. So I know they gave him carte blanche, but I didn't go deep diving into it. They really just let him do the same thing that Rian Johnson did.
Because like the first one, so like my understanding for the first, let me pull this back up here because I just had it like in front of my screen for how stupidly well it did. First one, the first one. So it was like mostly outside funding. So it was like Warner Brothers made it, but they did not have that much skin in the game because they thought it was just going to flop horribly. Makes $1 billion. So they
did very well for itself.
Yeah, just classic like money signs in their eyes. They want the sequel. The sequel is apparently in like 3 different main settings. They only use like 3 sets basically because the whole movie, spoiler alert, it is a musical courtroom drama.
Right.
Where nothing new happens
in
to the
Arkham and in a courtroom.
In a courtroom. And it's just randomly it's just him doing musical scenes with Lady Gaga, which, if they were like the Gene Kelly musicals of the 60s, which they're not, then I would get it. But they don't do that. So apparently just gave him carte blanche, and him and Joaquin Phoenix were just shooting the shit, and then both said, like, we should make this a musical. And they were just kind of high on their own farts, and that's what they did.
I mean, farts for sure, because that thing was just a big turd. The numbers are horrific. The week 1 to week 2 fall off, like I said, I think it was north of 80%, which means that basically everybody that went to see it told everybody else, don't see that shit. It's worse
such crazy word of mouth, dude. It's so crazy.
I mean, it really is phenomenal that a movie that had that much goodwill built in just tanked.
Dude, I saw the trailers you did, and I was like, maybe it'll be okay. And the first review I saw of the movie was every worry you had for this movie, you were right. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah, well, to that point, when I saw the first trailer, you immediately thought to yourself, we're in trouble here. Because, he's not the Joker on the loose in his Joker costume with henchmen running, some kind of...
He's not Heath Ledger.
He's not Heath Ledger, but he's not even the Prince Clown of Crime, right? Like, he's Arthur Fleck in...
No, he's some dude.
He's just some dude, right. And it was like, didn't we cover this? Like, isn't that movie 1 of the trilogy was, here's
then, like,
the backstory...
and then you see him, like, escalate from there.
Right, and then he is Joker out in the wild. It's not what this is. It's not what this is. And so you kind of felt that immediately when you watch the trailers because you're like, they're just in the insane asylum and he's not in his fucking gear that much. And now he's in a courtroom. And then, like I said, a week before it came out, you started hearing the musical shit and you started face palming yourself, just being like, really?
You're like, what did you do?
Really? Hold on. Sidebar. Let's just go through, and we'll get back to Joker. Top 25 movies since 2010 that are comedies. The best comedies, right?
Bros, the one that Judd Apatow made about the gay guys. That's yes, right up there near the top, right?
I'll just go through these, and you can stop ones that you just been like, okay, that one is good. I don't know who the random. This is Paste Magazine.
If any of these are Minions, by the way, I'm leaving this call. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just pulled up one, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know because I didn't read this list. 25 Bridesmaids, 2011.
Okay, that was good.
24 Easy A.
Never seen it, but I've heard good things.
Nah.
It's also crazy that these are 24 and 25, by the way, because never would have made a 50 if I could think of one off the top.
No, I mean, okay, so Bridesmaids, rewatchable. Easy, I think I saw it once. Wreck-It Ralph is a cartoon. I don't give that.
That was fun, yeah.
Girls Trip, 2017, and I haven't seen it, but everything I heard about it was that it was black bridesmaids.
Okay.
right? So I mean, maybe it's
I'm
good,
not
but
I'm not the target audience. I get it.
not the target audience, but not original. So I mean, I'll go with the original before I go with the remake. Peter Rabbit, really? Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Really?
I'm just gonna go down and see if there's movies here that I recognize. Jeez. 17, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think you mentioned that.
That was great. I love that movie. That movie's phenomenal.
Jeez. All right, Deadpool. I mean, comedy.
Good. Okay, fun. Yeah, kind of.
This is the end.
That was fun. I wouldn't put it
These are
over Scott Pilgrim.
These are fun, but like again, pale in comparison to the outright comedy the original Hangover was.
Yeah, I was also going to say these also definitely came out more than 10 years ago, which is also upsetting because I'm just going.
Yeah,
we haven't got like a bad Seth Rogen movie in a while, dude.
The Lego Movie.
That was fun, but also crazy that's making it this high on this list.
Yeah, I don't know that one. There are 2 Muppet movies so far.
I like the Muppets. Okay. Once again, these are not what I'm looking for, but okay, I like these movies.
2018 at number 6, Game Night. Saw it in the theater.
That high.
Thought it was good. Again,
it was good, but I just okay. Yeah.
Not something that not quotable. You don't talk about it down the road. Nobody's doing a Game Night character for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The 21 Jump Street. Again,
that was great.
Great, but I mean,
22 Jump Street was hilarious. I love that one. That one was great. 21 was really solid. 22 I liked more personally, but okay.
What we did in the shadows, they have at number 1. That list fucking sucks.
Oh, that was. I like that one.
Oh, really? But as
I like them.
Editorial at Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what they do on this one, and then we'll.
But that was also like that was what got Taika Waititi his start, and it had a budget of like $4. So like.
Oh, really? That was his deal.
That was his first thing he did with Jeremy and Clement, and I like both of them. I mean, Taika Waititi has clearly some misses, but like, dude, like compared to big budget Hollywood action movies, the movie that Taika Waititi used to get his start that he spent $4 on. Maybe shouldn't be that high. I think that's more the point.
Well, here we do what we do in the shadows on this Rotten Tomato list, and I don't know how they're doing this, but here that is 26. So, completely different list. We're just trying to grab things that are like, oh yeah, that was fucking great. Mm-hmm. That's not a comedy. That's not a comedy. No, shit. I mean, I don't.
These are all the name of movies, by the way. No, shit.
Yeah, right.
These are all.
Dolomite Is My Name, 2019. That was the Netflix. That was the return of Eddie Murphy as he was trying to ramp up for like the 3 sequels that he wanted to do related to his IP, all of which stunk.
Come on, Shrek.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, not a comedy.
That's what they're counting as a comedy?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know how they're quantifying this. And number 2 is The Fair Wheel. Number 1 is Booksmart. I just think that this proves the point here that
Booksmart
comedies have vanished.
Mm-hmm.
And literally Superbad and Hangover really might be the 2 last great ones.
Like raunchy ones, dude. Yeah.
They did try to do that one with all the kids, right? Bad Boys, or even not Bad Boys, but like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that one with
they had like horns on the cover of it, right? The kid had horns, and it was all kids, and they just had him curse a lot. And I don't know. I heard
that's
it was
new.
Okay,
I can find that on Adult Swim. It's called South Park. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, we go back to Joker here, and Arthur Fleck is not the guy. I was not sold on him being the clown prince of crime. You think that you're going to get some kind of an evolution of the character.
Yeah,
like you
said, they just
and
reset him to 0. Apparently, like they got rid of everything the first one did.
Who gives a fuck?
I mean, it's just. Like, what was he thinking? Or was it just the paycheck was so big? Do you think he held out and then they wrote him like an extra 0 at the end of the check and he went, I have artistic integrity. I would right now I'll start making it. Yup. Okay, that is just enough money for Megan and Joaquin Phoenix.
It's odd when you think of how you had a similar flop, like you mentioned, in The Last Jedi, which is basically kind of a case study in what not to do with film and IP. And yet they did the exact same thing, like you mentioned, here with Todd Phillips and the Joker property. Like, what is Hollywood? What are we fucking doing here, Hollywood? Like, come on.
That one to me, I'm like, okay, Todd Phillips just clearly like could not have lazed out a movie more hardcore if he tried and was just like, I'm going to embrace all my artsy fartsy stuff. But like the executive at Warner Brothers, who clearly went like on a Tuesday, he went, bankroll this Joker movie that Todd Phillips wants to make. Fuck him. We'll give him $3, and then it makes an insane return. And he goes, we'll give him all the money he wants, and I'll be the most famous boy in school, and then get a giant bonus for the year. Like, it's this. I have to imagine it's the same executive each time.
Okay, here we got to do it. You brought it up. You were talking like it. It reminded me. Let me pull it up here. I was gonna play this later, but now is a perfect segue for this. Let's do your boy here. There's probably going to be a commercial. There will be. But I am going to play the audio here of once YouTube cooperates with me. Yellow line going across. Here we go.
So, you have a Joker sequel for
this
me.
guy,
Yes, sir. Contrary to the perfectly self-contained nature of the first movie
Ryan
and solely for
George.
Financial reasons, I do. My name.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
so this one's going to be called Joker Folie à Deux. What? Folie à Deux. What? It's French, which automatically makes the movie more artistic sounding.
I love
People
this
gonna
guy,
be able to
yeah.
pronounce that properly? No, they're probably mostly going to pronounce it Folie à Deux. Being Folie à Duce is tight. Oh, my God. So what happens in this thing? Well, you know how we ended the first movie on this note of like, wow, Arthur Fleck is the Joker now, and he's kind of started this revolution. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, great ending.
Exactly.
Well, I figure let's not follow that route. Let's have him revert back to sad, pathetic Arthur. And
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Way to go.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of Control Z that whole thing. So what's the story?
Control Z.
Control Z. Just get rid of it. We don't need it.
Argue that he's got multiple personalities, so it's going to be like, is he going to get the death penalty or spend his life in jail? Kind of no good ending to root for. None. And then he's going to meet Harley Quinn.
None.
Oh, people like Harley Quinn. They sure do, sir. So she's also in the asylum because she said she started some fires, and then it's time
Say
to
Margot
sing a
Robbie.
song.
I mean, not Margot Robbie. Harley Quinn in general.
Movie
They
is
just
a
got way
musical.
too
It's a
extremely
musical?
exposed last
Yes, sir.
couple of
It's
years.
a full-on musical. La la la, and so on. You've heard of music. I have, yeah. I just don't know if I could successfully market a musical to comic book fans. Well, that's okay. Just mostly leave it out of marketing.
Yeah,
It'll be a little
see, there you
surprise for
go.
people when they get to the theater.
Exactly.
Yeah, that they will undoubtedly love. Well, so anyway, during this movie screening that they're at together, they let a guy who executed a guy on live TV go to co-ed movie screenings and music classes. Yes,
Music classes, of course.
Well, let's suspend disbelief a little, guys. Come on.
Musically. But they get caught, so Arthur gets put into solitary confinement. Bummer. So now it's time for a little song. Oh, again? Yes. So do these songs advance
God.
the
Yes.
story, or are they
You're
just
going to
kind
go
of
see
pauses
this.
to do
Yeah, I'm going to
something?
watch it this weekend, dude. I was saying my
braver
friends are
man
working
than
on
I.
Friday.
So now
I'm
it's
going to go
time
visit
for a
them.
song.
Ooh.
Again, constantly. So
Only
then
person
Lee's
with
gonna
Peter,
visit
that's my
Arthur
goal.
in solitary
Sounds like there's a lot of
confinement, and they're
music.
gonna have relations. How'd she get in there? Well, maybe she didn't. Arthur is an unreliable narrator, but later she's gonna say she's pregnant. So I guess that's fun. So now it's
Jesus.
time for a song. I thought it might be. And then Harley admits she made up her whole backstory and admitted herself into the asylum to get close to Joker. Hey, can we maybe get some Joker stuff in this Joker movie? Of course. Amazing. Only in imaginary musical numbers, though. All right. Anyway, then it's time for this to complete.
Oh, so then they do an imaginary on top of it?
I mean, once again, I got to watch it still.
And throughout these
Have you seen this? I don't want to ruin the movie for you. If you're like,
Dude,
holy
I've listened to this exact same one here. I know what I'm getting into. What's that? Wait, what's that airplane scene? You ever watched Airplane?
The airplane
scene.
Fingers crossed.
What airplane scene?
You ever watched the movie Airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one scene where like they bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. And that is just what I'm thinking.
I'm trying to think of the scene though. Wait, are they on the
You
plane?
could just put all no. It's like they're doing like some news reporter. It's like doing like counterpoints or something. Some show from the 80s.
I'll have to pick it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen that movie so many times. I don't know why I can't think of that scene.
That is like a core memory for me, dude. I've been watching it since I was 5 because my mom has great recommendation choices of comedies.
Again, a fantastic watch and still sticks. Why does it still stick? Because there's just some dumb humor in it along with crafty humor, and then they attack every stereotype possible.
Dude, if a guy from Brooklyn with half of a mustache that he can't grow on his face who wears flannel all throughout the year can't laugh at the movie because of its beautiful humor about how much he hates his parents, Like, who's gonna watch it? Honestly, it does feel like they are making that directly for
I'm
everyone
baffled.
I know from Brooklyn.
I'm baffled. Anyway, let's finish this up. There's a little.
It's time for a
bit
song,
left.
and
We're
then
about
Lee's
halfway
going to
through.
convince Arthur to fire his lawyer and represent himself as Joker. And then it's time for a song. Oh boy, he's actually going to be the
man, there's
Joker
a
now.
lot of
You
music.
know it, sir. Nice. For a little bit. Okay. Yeah, he hears the testimony from his friend Gary Puddles that he spared in the first movie, and turns out he traumatized him. So Joker's like, oh, I don't like how that feels, to hurt
Oh
people.
God, they really make him a
All right,
sap
he
in
doesn't
this
really
one,
want
huh?
to be the Joker anymore, and when he talks to Lee, she starts singing. He's like, I don't want the singing anymore. Oh, I feel that so
Oh, God.
deeply. Then
I
he
should've
gets
done
abused
that.
by some guards in a bathroom. A little gratuitous misery, sure. So then he decides to admit to the court that he and Joker are the same person, and he killed a bunch of people. Wow, well, it's definitely going to be hard for him to get out of that situation now. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because just
Yeah.
then a big bomb goes
He
off
loves
outside,
pointing out
set
the
off
barely
by Joker fans,
inconveniences.
so he's able to
He
walk
does that with
out.
every
That
movie
really
he
did
does this
come out
with.
of nowhere. So where does he go? Well, he heads to those iconic Joker stairs and finds Harley Quinn there. How would she know about the
Oh, where he
stairs?
does the
Well, they're
dance and shit,
iconic
right?
Joker stairs.
Yeah.
Where he did that little dance in the first movie. Right.
Oh, that's
Well,
exactly
that's a
it. Yeah, there you
public
go.
performance. Why would she know about those? They shut up. So she tells
It's
him
in
that she doesn't
every
actually
commercial.
care about him. She only cared about Joker, and she's not pregnant. So Joker gets arrested again. Sneaky. Yeah. So he's brought back to the asylum. Oh, all right. Back to square one. Yeah. And then he gets
Jesus.
shanked in a hallway and dies. Oh.
Oh,
So
really?
what was this all for? Well, we've successfully undone the first movie. Do you think fans will kind of feel like that's a slap in the face? Well, I think that's kind of the point. It was dumb for them to be fans of that in the first place. They still like their money, though. Oh, and then the guy who stabs Arthur cuts his own face into a smile, like the Joker.
Oh yeah. By the
Ah,
way,
there
that
it
was
is.
we were
Arthur
leaving
was
that
never
in.
the
Yeah, we was
Joker.
going to
This
mention that
random
later.
guy was, and he cuts his face open like Heath Ledger's Joker. Right.
Do you know the background with that?
Yeah, so I mean, he's explaining it right now, but this is what every article's saying.
Nolan's not at Warner Bros. Anymore, so we can do it now. I guess that makes it okay, sure. And so then we're done. What do you think? Well, I'll be honest, it sounds like a tough one to market, but people like Harley Quinn, so if we get the right actress for that, I mean, could be good. Who did you have in mind? Not sure. I mean, someone who can sing well and someone who, along with Arthur, can be, I don't know, caught in a bad romance. I can work with that.
See what you did there? Funny. Yeah, so explain to me what you know about the Nolan thing, because from that it makes it seem like, yeah, what they wanted to say here, now this is how they salvaged the whole thing, was like the first, and think about how crazy this is. That the whole two movie, it's not a trilogy, but the 2-movie set of the Joker isn't even about the fucking Joker. It really is about some random
Dude that created this. I guess was his inspiration. Is that it? Yeah.
Was the inspiration for the actual Joker. So when it's all said and done, you don't get to see the Joker at all. You never see him. And then
It was nice
obviously
in the first one, dude, because he said that in an interview after the first one came out. He's like, I don't think this is like the Joker of this universe. I feel like this is going to be the guy that like creates the movement that makes him. And you watch the first movie and you hear that, you go, you know, he left it open to interpretation. So why not? Yeah, sure.
But even
The second one is just like, dude.
it's so amazing that you would just get the you want to have a spin on the comics, fine. You want to put your own thumbprint on it, but to just again, this is, like you said, you're fucking right on the money here. Fucking just cashola.
Let's go.
It's just
One
the
for one.
Last Jedi all over again. How could you be so stupid? How could you be so removed from the source material and the fans to understand what they're looking for here?
Well, it's also like he did understand it in the first one. He did. What the fuck happened?
Well, was the first one supposed to be a standalone? I don't know the
It
background.
was going to be a standalone, and then I think they just got so much fucking money, dude. They were like, well, we're not letting this just sit here. Fuck that.
I mean, and if you were to think that the second one was built off the money of the first one, and then they consciously were like, okay, well, now we have the ability to just make up a new story, and what are we going to do? We'll just wipe the fucking slate clean and make somebody else the Joker. Like, oh my God. Like, if you think about it retroactively, it just destroys the first movie. Like, why would you want, if you knew what the second movie was now, why would you ever watch the first one? Because you'd be like, oh, dude, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, the stinkerama. Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it really is amazing. It really is. It's just, it's mind-blowing. But, again, Todd Phillips does this with another franchise. Ryan Johnson's
The
shit out of it.
consistency is shocking.
I mean,
at least Todd Phillips is just like, once again, dude, Hangover. I cherish that movie, and the first Joker. Never gonna rewatch it again, but I did respect.
but dug it. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say good movie. Never gonna check you out ever again. If it's on the TV, I will actively switch away from it, but still respect it. It's like Citizen Kane. I don't have the time.
I don't have time, but I respect it.
I respect it. I respect what you've done.
So can you even salvage? You can't salvage the property, right? It's done now.
No,
Like-
I think this was too much of a flop, dude. I mean, this spin-off Joker, not related to Robert Pattinson's The Batman or the Penguin show.
The Penguin show that I get, it feels like nobody's watching, even though I've seen the first episode. It was really
I
good.
was going to say, I really like it so far, but I don't see any memes about it yet. So, that is my bar, apparently, for how successful the show is. We are fucked as a society. Damn it. Okay, there you go.
And I really do feel that the mirroring of The Sopranos and making it a mob thriller just has not stuck with people. Because
I like it, but that's also because I've not seen a good mob show in a hot minute, and maybe I'm just hungry for new Sopranos or something.
right, I think that's what they were hoping for too. But you got to understand the funny thing about The Sopranos was, well, I shouldn't. Funny, it's not a funny thing. Part of the fascination with The Sopranos was here's the real mob world, and it's in New Jersey and around all these places. So there was all this mystique about. There's not mystique about Jersey. Don't get me wrong, but there was these places exist, and what is it? And everything was joke. And so then you watch The Penguin, you're kind of like, oh yeah, it is a good mob movie, but it's fucking Gotham. Is Batman going to show up? Batman's not going to show up. You're in a world that you already know of, and you're just expecting cameos and other people to appear, and it's no. It's
They've been pretty good about it. I mean, I've only seen the first little bit.
There's only been 3 episodes.
I was going to say, I don't think are they? I mean, apparently all the characters are somewhat comic relevant so far. I think, or 3 of them are.
I just watched the first one where it ends with that death, and then I went to Wikipedia,
which was awesome.
And I think that story is from the comics in one way, shape, or form.
Or something, something like that. I don't know. Still, liked it a lot. They brought in my boy Clancy Brown, or Mr. Krabs. He's in the show.
Mr. Krabs.
SpongeBob, me boy. Kill him. Yeah.
Oh, I coach my kids, and my youngest son has it's rec soccer, and they were assigned a team name by the guy who runs the league, and they were called the Baggies. And the kids are like, the Baggies, fuck the Baggies. We don't want to be the Baggies. I don't even know what the fucking Baggie is. I think it's a bird.
Yeah, we want to be the Killer Red Bears or something like that.
Well, I let them choose their own name. So I let everybody put a name in, and then I thought about it twice, and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because...
I was going to say, I've seen how the internet polls work. I know where this goes.
Well, I know. Every kid that came up with a name, then when I went to vote, it was like, yeah, I'm voting for the name that I gave you. And I was like, oh, shit. So, we have 12 single votes. So I was like, I'm going to knock it off. I'm going to pick the top 3.
That's how all elections actually work, and they just change it to whatever name. They're like, this seems more
see what he did? Fucking, that's why they pay him the big bucks.
That's why Bart Simpson this year, boys. Yeah, let's go.
Oh my God, my youngest. I'll get back to that in a second. But anyway, so they pick a name. They pick Sigma. And they're like, what the Sigma? And I was I'll just do, how about we do Sigma something? And they had this, they wanted to be Ice Spice Elite. And I'm like, I'm not being Ice Spice Elite. Oh my God.
What the hell?
I'll let you do Ice Elite, but I'm not doing Ice Spice Elite. We're not naming our fucking boys soccer team after some random girl rapper. Yeah. And then they were like, well, Ice Elite. And somebody came with Sigma. And I was like, all right, fine, Sigma. Sigma Elite. Sigma Elite. There you go. You can't do What the Sigma. But What the Sigma is some kind of reinvention of SpongeBob, which I think is a byproduct of What the Duce, which is a saying that Stewie from Family Guy said. And then it got What the Deuce, yes. And I guess that's basically, he said that all the time, and it was what the fuck.
Is it from SpongeBob? What the hell?
Yeah, and so then they took the what the Deuce, and then they changed it to What the Sigma, and now there's just memes all over about What the Sigma, and that's what my fucking 3rd, 4th grade soccer team talks about is the Sigma Elite. But every kid on Earth is going Sigma. What the Sigma?
Oh, it's a viral video where someone who sounds like Squidward is that. What the flip? I'm not looking at this video. I found where it originated from, but that just is exhausting.
You can do it off, but you watch it because it's just kind of
Dude, there's going to be a PhD paper about this one day, by the way, just to let us all know here on this call, in case you're not like, what was the fall of the Roman Empire like? Was there any
it was Squidward doing What the Sigma.
Yeah, what the Sigma, and he's going to prove this paper in front of a group
You
of
do a
professors.
good Squidward, by the way. I got to give you credit.
Yeah, multiple years of watching SpongeBob, dude.
Yeah, well, and all the kids now are doing it. And it's like everything that was in the 80s and 90s is all of a sudden coming back. My youngest son, the same one that's on the Sigma Elite team, he comes home the other day and he was just like, don't have a cow, man. And I'm like, what do you say? And he was like, don't have a cow, man. And I was,
it's you in front of an old Simpsons VHS, like, I used to say this when I was your age. And he's just like, don't ruin this for me, Dad. Yeah.
And he was like, and it sounded like Bart Simpson. His voice inflection sounds like Bart. I said,
does he know where it came from?
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, I'm watching The Simpsons now. I'm like, you're watching The Simpsons? It's on Disney Plus, all like 50 seasons of it. So now he's just on a tear of watching Simpson after Simpson.
He's going to be just as disappointed as the rest of us as time goes on. But
well, no, I don't think so, because he watches it with the new young mentality. So he watches like the open, the first 5 minutes, then he stops the episode and starts another one. And then he'll jump forward like 10 minutes, and then he watches it like YouTube Shorts or YouTube. It's just flips between episode and episode. And so the other day he's like, "Yeah, I got through. I finished The Simpsons. I watched every episode." I'm like, "You can't. There's 50 years of The Simpsons. It would take you 50 years. That's how that works." And he was like, "No, I finished it." I said, "No, you have to watch all 30 minutes of a show. There's at least 20 seasons of that. There's 22 episodes a season at 30. I mean, you're talking about." You'll be going to college.
It's days. It's weeks of television.
Oh, I think it's probably more than that.
Yeah. I mean, how many episodes? I mean, once again, we could look it up. I'm not going to. I'm lazy.
I'm just going to say it started in 87 to 88, maybe. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then it's, 40 years?
There's certainly how many seasons of The Simpsons even?
I'm just saying there's, I'm going to say there's a 20 episodes a season.
They're on their 36th season right now.
Okay. So just round it up to 40. Let's say there's 20 episodes a season. So you're at 800,
I can do the
800
math
episodes.
Here. We got how many Simpson episodes? 770 episodes. Let's do some quick math. Let's say they're all around.
I was going for it myself. You got it fired up?
I'm going to say, I'm getting the calculator right here. I'm going to say 21 minutes an episode just because of no commercials.
Yeah, sure. I was just going to round it up to 30, and then I was going to cut 770 in half. So you're looking at...
I'm also going to add an extra, I'll be generous. I'll say 20 hours on top of this just for the movie and any longer episodes of which I'm sure I'm undercutting this.
Yeah, 773, 35?
So, yeah, 161.
No, sorry, 375? 385. 385?
So they're saying it's 16,190 minutes. And let's do this.
I mean, 385 hours of television.
Yeah. So, dude.
I mean, if you were to watch them... if you were to watch them consecutively every hour and not go to bed... That is, 10 full days of television?
Yeah, I have 10, 11 full days roughly of just watching straight TV, dude.
Yeah, he did it in a week. In piecemeal. I'm like, it didn't happen, champ.
This is assuming you're doing one-time speed, which, dude, my girlfriend, she will put shows on, when she's like, this is boring, and she'll just go to 1.4 speed or something. I'm like, what is this happening? And then eventually I got accustomed to it. And then she slows it down to this is going to be a good scene right here. Let's watch it now. And it's just the whiplash, dude, when you're watching.
What was she doing that on?
We were watching some K-drama, which, to be fair, she was doing it the love scenes because it was an action thing, but then there was also
But
these...
what service had the speed up? Because
Netflix.
I thought Netflix got rid of that.
I think it was Netflix.
I know
we
Netflix
just
wanted to do
skip
that.
them?
Now, I will be honest. I have become so addicted to listening to podcasts at 2 times speed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That I would love to watch half it. Like, a 30-minute show is fine. An hour-long show, like...
There's going to be an auditory engineer out there who just hates our guts right now. Like, what the fuck? I made it for this.
There are many one-hour shows that I'm like, you know what? It's good for 30 minutes, and the other 30 minutes suck, and I can't get through it.
Don't have the 4 hours, dude.
Yeah, I would love to just put it on double speed and then just been like, yeah, okay, I get it. I don't need... I think I can do it the same way that I can with podcasts, but I'm not quite sure because I got to look. Maybe they have it on Netflix. I know that people got really bent out of shape when Netflix was talking about doing it. I just don't know if they ever followed through.
They just up your rates for the 5th month in a row. That's all.
Fucking rates. Not to go off in economics right here, but talking about earlier in the podcast,
Jerome Powell.
inflation. I did DirecTV. I've had DirecTV from the year that it came out, and the year that it came out, I believe it was $38 a month. And so at the time, I had PlayStation Vue, which was their TV streaming service.
Oh, we're going back in time.
$50 a month. And PlayStation Vue doesn't even exist anymore. And we switched over to DirecTV. Actually, I kept DirecTV along with PlayStation Vue for maybe like a year because the DirecTV streaming just didn't work. But I wanted that $35 fucking price, and they like guaranteed it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten, the DirecTV streaming has sold 8 million times. Each time there's been a little more on the price bill that went up.
Cha-ching.
Right, until I just checked my bill. I didn't even know what I was paying. I've been paying $110
What the flip?
for DirecTV stream for what I was like, oh my God, they must have been doing this to me for maybe a couple of months. And I look back and I'm like, oh my God, it's been... And you saw, it was funny. It was like $79.99, $79.99, $89.99, $99.99, $100. Like they increased it like $10, like 5 months in a row, and all of a sudden it was like $100. So here's a streaming service. It is no different from the fucking minute I bought that damn thing or I signed up for it.
Yeah.
In whenever it was, and it was $35,
What the
and
hell,
now it's
dude?
$110. That is a threefold increase. 300% increase, or more than that, in the price. I mean, and for what? Nothing has changed. So you want to talk about inflation? I mean, that's not inflation. That is, people just stealing money. That's stealing
You can just.
money.
I was gonna say absurdation, but that sounds like something else. So I'm just gonna say absurd.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is cheap. Yeah, sure. So next year, Sport League X dials up their contract and they say, you know what?
Twitter's new NFL sports package that you spend $40 a month every second you watch.
Wait, what? What was that word? Yeah.
But it was like, well, what were you paying when you started at $35? Like, I don't, what happened? Anyway, I digress, and I digressed. I put this into my kids' fucking youth leagues and What the Sigma because you brought up SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So, Joker franchise. Can you even bring him back for any of the Jane Gunn? Can you bring him back for Jane Gunn, or do you think people are just like, dude, we've seen him?
That's funny. You should say that. James Gunn's always like, I had nothing to do with this one. I was still like all these movies as they were coming out were in the oven by the time I got here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to try to separate himself. I mean, his big one is Superman, right? Superman's
his beginning, which
and he's going to have to let Reeves run out his Batman series here because they already have a commitment here with Penguin as a series. They've got the second Batman coming out. You never do just two, so you're going to do a third one of that Batman trilogy.
You got to do at least two so you can ruin it. Exactly.
Right, exactly. So, and I don't, at that
have
point,
nice things. No way, that's not happening.
I don't think Reeves wants to touch the Joker because it's just too big of a persona. And I'm sure Gunn's like, dude, just leave it out and let me deal with it. Maybe this Joker Folie will pass over it.
And Todd Phillips is somewhere in some winery bunker somewhere, just laughing all the way to the bank. Or he's reading every single YouTube comment and getting really upset, which like
I doubt it.
I was like, you're an idiot if you're doing that. Just go wait a year. No one will talk to us again.
I mean, who can you think of? I was going to say with the exception of Trump, but Trump never cares about what people say about him on Twitter. He only cares about like what people say to him like in his face or around him. Then he loses his shit.
My rallies are not small. Your rallies are small.
So here's the thing. All right, I don't want to go too deep in politics because it will just derail it. But I mean, to be completely fair, like all these things that they accuse him of doing, like I don't think half of them exist. Like, have you heard until she said it in the debate? Have you ever heard anybody talking about Trump rallies were too long? I mean, everybody knows they're too long. It's like
they're too long.
It's like a Joe Rogan podcast.
It's just the pettiest shit that gets to him, and that's what's hilarious. Like people have been saying, like he's a criminal, he molests people, he's a horrible father. None of that remotely phases him. And the moment they say, "I think your hair's too yellow," and "I think your rallies are too long," like the dumbest thing. Not even his hair is yellow, dude. It's like so much dumber. It's like I think like the tie you have on might be a little crooked right now. Like
when they baited him into it. Shit, but you know what's stupid is that I've heard her talk about that now, and now SNL does it all the time. Like now everybody talks about people leaving his rallies. Now when SNL did it, did you see any of the SNLs? They've had 3 since open.
I watched the Nathan Bargatze one because he was awesome. He did it last year. I think
He did, and we talked about the very funny scene of him crossing the river, George Washington.
They did another one,
and they did another one, which was good. It just wasn't great. It was good.
I mean, the first one was just so like fresh, dude.
I mean, it was brand new. Like
it
they
was
just
just
went
like
to
the Joker. You just Hangover 2 all over. You just like it's like, well, it was good last time.
But wasn't it kind of shocking to you that they brought Bargatze back on after he just did it last year?
That's what I was thinking. The same thing.
Right?
So, like, I'm assuming...
Like, how do you double dip that fucking quick?
I mean, I like Nate Bargatze a lot, and maybe he's just a chill dude, or maybe people don't care about Saturday Night Live as much anymore.
Maybe not. Part of me thought it was strictly for that one sketch. Because it's the 50th year of SNL.
I kind of agree. I think they haven't had anything as like big as that one recently.
Which is why I would imagine you probably seen Shane Gillis come on too.
Because
Shane Gillis's episode was also wildly popular.
Dude, okay, hear me. Like, do you remember the Ryan Gosling episode where him and the other guy did Beavis and Butthead?
Yes, and then they did it like 3 more times consecutively, and it just like tapped it out.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
Well, maybe they didn't do. I think they only had the one on TV, but then I think they went to like maybe the Golden Globes dressed up like them, and they went around as Beavis and Butthead for another couple weeks, and it was like, oh, okay. But anyway,
I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but now part of me is like, if Ryan Gosling isn't on like the list and they don't do that again, I will be. Let's look it up.
I was just thinking about looking up the host. I know that next week. So this year so far, they had Bargatze. I don't remember who.
Oh, do they got John Mulaney this season? Okay, he's fantastic.
Oh, they're bringing Mulaney back? Silver Mulaney?
I love Mulaney. Okay, that's
Silver Mulaney's coming back.
Ariana Grande. Don't bring Pete Davidson.
Grande was last week, was not good. The week before that was Bargatze, and the opener was
some woman I've never seen before in my life.
Oh yes, she was like the theater actress, and I that episode was all right. I mean, it was all right.
The theater.
Yeah, she was talking about how she does theater and all this kind of other shit, and I had no clue who she was. And then this week is going to be, they had last week as the musical guest, they had fucking Fleetwood Mac's very own Stevie Nicks.
Michael Keaton's coming in.
Coming in next. That's a good get. I'll take that.
I would say, dude, after watching Beetlejuice 2, he was pretty, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a transition because you had said that movies that you had seen, you're going to see Joker 2, but you had seen the Beetlejuice. I have not seen Beetlejuice.
Rewatch the first one. absolute Halloween classic.
Saw it in the theater. It was fantastic.
So good. Second one, it was good. Michael Keaton somehow has not missed like a fucking step in 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, he just still kills it.
I heard he's awesome, but he's kind of the most awesome part.
He's barely
the
the first
awesome
one,
part.
too. But there's other fun parts, dude. The issue with the movie is you watch it and you go, this is like a 6 or a 7. And a lot of it's being boosted by Michael Keaton. Like, he adds 2 points to the movie, I'll be honest. Like, the rest is just, like, pretty bland or average. He makes it so much more fun. But there's, like, an 8 or 9 in the movie. They just have so much fat on it, and he just never decided to cut things on the cutting room floor.
Okay. So
it's just, like, you have to watch it. But there's legitimately, like, 8 different storylines with way too many characters. And only, like, 4 of them need to be actually in the movie.
Not nearly as compact and nicely fit as the first one.
He could have stuck one storyline in there and it would have been fun from all the ones he's including. But he's like, well, I got to bring Catherine O'Hara back because everyone loves her because of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, but he couldn't bring back her husband because he's a fucking kiddie porn guy.
That's what he did?
Yeah. He was a kiddie porn guy.
What?
Yeah, the principal from Ferris Bueller. He was in that. I think he also was in Howard the Duck.
Oh, no. That's why he wasn't in the movie?
Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah.
Dude,
he went down ages ago.
I thought he was retired.
What is the guy's name? Well, he's got to be old now. Father in Beetlejuice.
Well, he doesn't like him to be, though, apparently.
Jeffrey Jones. Jeffrey Jones. Pornography.
Well, that's going to get you some weird search. I'm glad you're looking this up, not me.
Yeah. Pleads guilty. Here it is. This was from 2010. Ferris Bueller's Jeffrey Jones pleads guilty in sex offender case. This from Channel 4 News in Los Angeles.
God damn, dude.
Jeffrey best known for playing the bumbling Principal Rooney, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, pleaded guilty in Los Angeles Tuesday to a felony charge of failing to update his sex offender registry. Oh, sorry.
Jeez.
So this is after he got busted. So he did the, you know who this also happened to? This happened recently to Lawrence Taylor. So you know who Lawrence Taylor is by chance?
No, who's that?
So Lawrence Taylor is probably the most famous linebacker to ever play football. He is just truly in a league of his own. I argue that I think per what his position and what he did, he actually was more impactful than Michael Jordan. Like, Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player that ever lived. Football doesn't translate that. But for his position, like, Lawrence Taylor did things that were
just crushed it.
Unbelievable. He also was a raging cocaine addict and womanizer and just partied his fucking tits off.
Go hand in hand.
Exactly. But this guy, like, when this guy was an animal, the way he played on the football field was the same way he partied in real fucking life. Like, he was just a gem. But anyway.
110% constantly died at 36 of a heart attack.
Right. But this guy's still ticking. So he ends up getting, I don't know. He has a famous line, but he picks up a hooker. The hooker ends up being 15 or 14 or something.
Oh,
and
God.
Maybe not 14, maybe 15, 16, whatever it was. It was underage. And so he gets arrested. And so that puts him as a child molester or whatever it is. And so I think the line he said was like, they asked him, did you know that she was 16? And he said, no, I don't card. So, and he didn't mean it like, I just take advantage of young chicks. He was just saying, like, I don't know, I called the hooker and she came. I don't card. Like, so, like, it is what it is. So anyway, he got in trouble for this too. So when you move as a sex offender, you have to tell them where you're moving to.
Hey,
so if
guys,
you sell a house, you buy
here, just you moved in that big pink house down the street. If you know any candy outside, your kids are more than welcome. By the way, have something awkward I need to tell you. Maybe we can wait till after the week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no one's Friday.
It is a fantastic thing to exist. It's also just uber strange, right? Mm-hmm. Because what happens when they move in? If the sex offender is like a multimillionaire and you buy a house, you can't not buy a house because you're a sex offender. you get to buy the house and then tell everybody like, oh yeah, hey, I loved having sex with 12-year-old girls. And then everybody's
Don't
like,
flip that on this podcast, please. God help us.
So, all right. So, similar to Lawrence Taylor, that's what happened to Jeffrey Jones because this was 2010. So, his initial deal was the 64-year-old actor escaped a possible 3-year jail sentence in state prison, but now wants to serve 3 years probation. Oh, here it is. In July of 2003, Jones pleaded no contest to hiring a 14-year-old boy to pose for sexually explicit photos.
Well, that is something.
14.
Jesus Christ.
It is unbelievable. I mean, there are just perv switches out there that are uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. 14. 14 and a kid. Like, you have to be saying to yourself, I mean, how fucked up do you have to be? So weird. And he's not alone. There are a ton of people out there.
That's weird. He's really not into, being well known. Apparently, he's very into anonymity, is what they are saying about him on his Wikipedia page.
I would be too if I got caught fucking taking nude photos of a 9-year-old boy. Sorry, 13, 12-year-old boy, whatever it was. Enough. It just gross. But yes, so that was Jeffrey Jones and his fall from grace. So now let's flip it back to Beetlejuice, because he was not in that, obviously. They left him out because, he hasn't had a gig since, I don't think.
I mean, I would kind of hope not in this case. Yeah.
So did they even mention him in Beetlejuice?
He's like a big part of Catherine O'Hara's story. It's like he just died. He's what sets everything into motion. But the way he died, like in Beetlejuice, when you die, you go to the death world, and you basically look like how you were by whatever killed you. And so he was bitten in half by a shark, so it's literally just like the lower half of him walking around the whole movie.
Oh, no shit.
Show his face to get around it. So it's pretty funny. But I'll have like images of the guy here and there throughout the movie, which is now like, I knew he was alive.
Do they show pictures of him?
Oh, yeah.
Like still pictures, like he's in a photo frame, or
exactly like he's in a photo frame, or like there's one where he's like CGI'd to recreate his death, which was funny.
Oh, really?
But,
they did it good though.
It was a caricature, if anything.
Okay.
More than a photo for that one, but it's just like, man, did not think. I thought he just retired, and they asked him back, and he's like, "I'm good. I don't need to come back."
Nope,
now
not at all. Yeah, not at all. They did not bring him back because he loves naked boys. So that was what happened to him. So anyway, but she came back, and she's obviously Kevin. Also plays the mother from Home Alone.
Oh yeah,
and
she's having a year. She's in a lot of things now, apparently.
Oh yeah, they're just dialing up the nostalgia, which is all the rage now.
Which is crazy because it was 6 years ago.
Especially since they can't create anything new because everything new is against the rules. But yeah, so how was the rest of the movie? Like, continue on. It was Michael Keaton, is what you were saying.
It was solid. It would have been average if it wasn't for Michael Keaton. Honestly, it could have been way better. It could have been as good as the first one, but for some reason, like, I think he had 4 different scripts of the movie about what could lead Beetlejuice into it, and he could not settle on one. And he's like, "Why not all of them?" And that's what he did.
Do they acknowledge? Winona Ryder's in it. Do they acknowledge?
She fucking sucks, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like, really? Winona Ryder, dude, love her. First one, she's great. She's great in Stranger Things. In this movie, dude, and they like sort of reference it. My girlfriend watched the movie. I was complaining the same way to her about this, and she was like, "I think that was the point of her character," but honestly, I think she forgot. She never rewatched the first movie, and she's like, "How do I act again? I'm just gonna play it like I did Will's mom in Stranger Things. That's just what I do. I'm just Will, and then I'm gonna keep looking at the. It's completely different character, dude.
Boo! That stinks. Did they even mention? So we've covered Jeffrey Jones and how they offed him. What did they do with Gina Davis and?
They just wrote him out. Yeah, apparently he shot his wife again in hell or something like that. Alec Baldwin's character. Yeah, and then that is a horrible joke. No, they just pieced it out of
I
there.
didn't even pick up on it. I was like, he shot somebody in the movie?
Yeah, really weirdly on point. No, they're just like, oh, they found peace. Yeah, they're supposed to be here for 100 years, but they found peace and they're gone. And that's why we don't have to pay Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin money for this movie. There's already too much going on here.
All right, whatever. But you liked it. You thought it was good.
It was fine. Yeah, it was fun.
It was fine.
I
don't know.
It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. It was better than fine. I enjoyed it. It was one level above fine.
One level above fine. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I still got to see it. I think my kid or Anthony saw it, and he said it was good. He actually gave a very similar review to yourself, where he said it was not as good.
Get him
as
on the cast, dude.
Beetlejuice was good. Yeah. Yeah, he's getting there. We were trying to think about launching one for the family called Scrambled Thoughts, but I'm trying to figure out
we
how
can
to
use that
do
name
it.
here as well half the time.
Yeah, it's true. And so it was like my wife wanted to get in on it. He wanted to get into it. And so I bought like these wireless lav mics so we could just sit on the couch and just talk. But we haven't been able to figure out a time or like how to pull it off. So, because I can't set up an entire, this is in a basement. I do it myself.
Oh, yeah.
I can't have the three of us down here, just sitting in the basement.
Dad, what's this doing? They're just pressing every button they can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, what? That's a clock. That's a whammy.
We're taped for nutcase!
Oh, all right.
Thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac.
Don't be rude.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Now imagine them pressing all of those at the same time.
Oh, that'd be good. I could put that in a rap song.
Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was another one that was popular. What else is out now? I mean, it's pushing late a little bit, but we could finish on something. I haven't really seen anything.
Last one I could talk about it before. I mean, Rings of Power. I still got to finish that. Penguin. I still got to catch back up on. Wild Robot was fucking incredible.
Yes.
That was so goddamn good.
I heard it was good. It didn't get a lot of pub. It did the week that it came out because they said it was good, and now I don't hear about it anymore. And that's frustrating that when there is good shit that comes out, sometimes it's not even publicized. Like nobody gives a fuck.
Apparently it's doing well enough where they're already announcing a sequel, but to me, dude, it was just like it's like Pixar, like in their prime quality, is what I would consider the movie.
Well, it's pretty lofty review.
I stand by it. I stand by it. Solid fucking movie. Solid. Like it was like everyone that watched it was like, this fucking slap. They have some.
Is it Universal or DreamWorks
Animation?
It was
DreamWorks, but now they're basically the same thing. This is like the last gasps potentially of the creative side of DreamWorks, from what I was hearing, but.
Yeah, because they chopped up DreamWorks, right? And basically sold it with the exception of animation?
Exactly. So this is like the last bit. And even then, they're cutting down heavily. So they're not doing the animation in-house anymore. This was the very last movie they were doing it for, which I don't know what that means, which means, what is DreamWorks animation? Is that kind of the point? So what I'm saying is the guy who made all the Minion movies is now in charge of everything, which is a worst-case scenario for Will.
You're not a Minion fan?
No. He's holding literally some of the best franchises in the world. And he's like, how do I make these cheaply? But get $1 billion because people are stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude's a genius. What he does. I'll give him that.
I cannot believe that the Minions have continued on. I mean, how many? There's got to be 10 Minion movies.
It's something like that. Dude. Despicable Me. There's like four Minion movies.
5 or 4 Despicable Me's. And then they have 2 or 3 Minion movies on its own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like amazing. I just, it's a little yellow pill that jumps up and down. And
it is the dumbest thing. And then it was made famous by Facebook moms all throughout the 2010s. I blame them. All those like, hey, would I wake flies with that? Yes. Where they would just post that type of meme just every single day.
I don't know of them, but I mean I do know.
I'm gonna send you one, dude. I could send you one.
Please don't.
You're gonna be like, really? This?
I have enough things driving me nuts, and enough girl content that drives me nuts. I won't turn this into a completely utterly sexist, but I mean, God, some of the girl content coming out is like, holy Jesus.
Which one this time?
It's just it's everyone that I hear, whatever, and it doesn't help that you got to hear Kamala, just on everything because like she really is. I don't care.
Star Wars,
you want to vote for
our
her?
turn.
Go vote for her.
Our turn.
I don't give a shit.
Star Wars.
But you hear her talk, and oh my God. So enough. But back to the what is Wild Robot like technically about? Every time I see it, I feel Giant. What Giant Robot was that a movie too?
It is. It's like a little Iron Giant.
Giant.
It's a little Wally It's a lot Wally. It's Wally.
I never saw
and
Wally. Wally had
Wally
Wally had no script, right? There was no talking in Wally.
For like the first half, and the next half there's like they bring it back to there's human characters and some chatting.
Oh, okay,
But
all right.
Wally is it's fun. I think it's the best Pixar film. This is maybe not as good as Wally, but it's still really fucking good, and it's got like a lot of the same DNA that Wally has. It's a little How to Train Your Dragon. It's a little Iron Giant. It's like those three had a child. It's the Wild Robot.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at it, though. I mean, it kind of does look like Iron Giant.
Right. I was going to say. Looks
Right,
almost just like him. Just doesn't have a mouth. It just glows.
Yeah. I'm looking at these videos. I'm kind of like, oh, so it is Iron Giant.
To be fair, like, you can't just steal a robot with circle eyes. God damn it, Iron Giant. I mean, it's still cool.
Oh, whatever. I mean, it works. Whatever it is, it works. So, are there big name people that do the voiceover or no?
It's just Pedro Pascal. Mark Hamill does a character, but you're barely going to notice it.
Dude, Pedro Pascal, really with this fucking guy?
He was good. He was actually good in this. I don't know. Like, I didn't really notice it.
But he does everything.
That's the one thing.
There's nothing he doesn't do. I mean, Hollywood just does this with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying he's
Dude,
like
it's just,
he's not the newest Kevin Hart because he doesn't do comedy, but like,
why would you say that?
I mean, is he like Chris Pratt? Like, is he like the new like series Chris Pratt? And who was a series Chris Pratt for a while? That just like
Chris Pratt. Did you see that fucking movie Passengers? That was atrocious.
I did not. I thankfully did not see that one.
Let's put Chris Pratt and what's her face? Jennifer. What's her? Goddamn Hunger Games girl.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, let's put Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, two beloved comedic actors, and put them in a serious movie together. That's gonna be great. That's definitely not do the opposite there.
And then she just has a ton of face work done and then does a fake nude scene in the Netflix movie to try to grab some kind of notoriety again.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely.
You never seen that one?
No.
It was actually pretty funny. It was a very much in the same vein as Hangover and Superbad, where they went for a R-rated movie, and they did it on what do you call it?
Netflix, right? Yeah.
And it actually was pretty good. Oh, there was a couple of, now I'm thinking about it. They tried to in the recent blockers, which are supposed to be cock blockers with John Cena. That kind of went a little aggressive.
They say it's John Cena.
And they just did the other John Cena over the top kind of Ricky Stenicki. Did you watch that one?
I did hear that. I heard that was good.
Yeah, Ricky Stenicki's okay. So anyway, but I digress. So and Jennifer Lawrence and we were talking about Pedro Pascal. I just like Pedro Pascal. I'm enough with the
Mandalorian
the roles that he keeps
He soured you from season 3 Mandalorian. I'm not even sure it's his fault for that one, but yeah.
I just like number one, isn't he kind of old? Like he's got to be 50. Pushing 50?
Hey, dude, make your buck when you can, man. Gives me hope.
For sure. But, like, when Disney takes him and puts him as Reed Richards I mean, I could not have thought anybody less Reed
Richards
Richards
right. He's
than
Reed
him.
Richards. I forgot that they cast that's going to be a movie.
Yeah, like him? That's Reed Richards? I mean, stop this guy I mean, good for him. He there's never been a movie. Oh, he's 1 year older than me. Yeah, so he's pushing 50. So, whatever. Old as fuck. Old AF. Old AF, as they say.
Old AF, man.
Old AF. But so he's in it, and he gets the DreamWorks money. Good for him. Don't give another opportunity to anybody
Dude, get
else.
that dollar, man. That's all I was saying. God bless him.
Isn't it a little frustrating that all you keep getting served on that plate is just the same shit? Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds, De Niro's still getting roles. He's been getting roles for past 60
De Niro,
years.
that one makes no sense. Well, he's got to support his 17 children that he keeps having because he's never heard of a condom.
Yes.
Yeah, you just know his financial advisor's like, dude, I'm gonna staple your dick shut if that's what it takes to make you stop doing this, you idiot.
I mean,
90 years old.
Same guys. It's like, do another Fokker movie. All right, Stiller. Let's give Stiller like five things. They were doing that with Owen Wilson. They were just shoving him down your throat.
Just everyone's throat, yeah.
And then he went nutso, right? Didn't he? He had a psychotic break at one point.
I mean, eventually that's how you get out of Hollywood, dude. You're just like, how can I stop getting into movies? Wow. I know.
Who was the guy that just was like, yeah, I got out of Hollywood because they're all fucking pedophiles? He just said it like a week or two ago. He just said it a week or two ago. It wasn't Fabio, but
that'd be hilarious. That was Fabio.
No, but it was somebody like Fabio. Kevin Sorbo. I think Kevin Sorbo. He played Hercules. I think he was just in the news because I think he was like, I didn't get blacklisted from whatever or like kicked out of Hollywood. I left because they're all kid touchers. From action.
Oh, this dude. Yeah, I forgot about him. Damn.
Yeah. He just came out, and let's say I left Hollywood. Hollywood behind. I'm pretty sure. I mean, this was like a story like a week or two ago, and he just wrote like they're all kid touchers. The reason for Mac. Oh, here it is. He goes, "Why did you leave? Get your brother Kevin Sorbo relieved why revealed why." And what did he write? He goes, according to him, he didn't get blacklisted. No. He chose to leave. And the reason for him leaving was because he claims they're all pedos. And his exact tweet was, I didn't get blacklisted from Hollywood. I left because they're all pedos.
That's a baller move. That's a Sigma move.
Dude, man. That's just like, fuck all y'all.
What the Sigma?
But you know what? Like, he could have said it ages ago. But, I mean, at least now people are saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to sell it like it was just kind of like a one-off thing. Now it just feels like it's been 100 years of just, like, raping young people. Like, girls and guys alike.
Yeah, they used to get a story about it every couple of years, and then the next, 2 months later, like, what are you talking about? No, this is a safe place. No, having children be on air. It's like that Nickelodeon documentary, dude, from a few months ago. I was thinking about that earlier today, where you just go, what the fuck was happening there?
I don't think I saw that one. When did that come out?
Oh, that was on Max, dude. It was all about, the shit was going on with, the live-action Nickelodeon shows, which, they try to pin it all on this one main producer and that he was, a toxic guy. And he certainly wasn't great, and he certainly played favorites, but he honestly just sounds like every other Hollywood producer. But
Harvey Weinstein.
But the main issue was there were, legitimate people working in Nickelodeon that were, serious child molester pedophiles who touched very well-known actors. And the one actor who's the big thing they do for that documentary, everyone's been saying he's crazy for years, and literally in the course of a week when this doc came out, the entire tone of how people have looked at him changed, where it was just he's an asshole. Wow, what a fall from grace too. Oh shit. And no one figured it out.
I was watching it, right, and it sounds like it is so pervasive. Now, when you first heard stories, and stories have been around forever, but I'm saying that when you heard them, you were kind of like, yeah, sure. It's 3% of the big, gigantic celebrity population is, off in that way, right? That kid touchers, fascinators, some weird shit. Now it's not 3, it's 93. And it's legit. I believe all these stories I hear. There's no story I hear.
You walk into a producer and you just flip a coin. If you're a hot chick or a little boy, please let it be the other one that he's attracted to. Please tell me. Oh, thank God he's gay, says the woman. And then it's well, actually, there's a little more to it than that.
And think about all the people that are just keeping their mouth shut. Because, sure, who are some of the girls that came out that have been really railed against for it? Was Christina Ricci or something like that? Didn't one of those girls come out? And maybe it wasn't Christina Ricci. It was somebody else who used to be, that's been really pounding the pavement that she was molested in Hollywood or whatever. And I mean, it now feels like it's 3% of the people that actually happen to are actually voicing themselves. Mm-hmm. And everybody else is no, I don't want to my life is set. I'm good. Yeah, sure.
I made my Angelina Jolie probably, honestly. Sure.
Weinstein defiled me every which way from South, but you know what? He's in jail, and I'm a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you from my island that flies. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you pay them and people fold. And
It's weird, dude.
I mean, you seeing that shit with the Diddy stuff now? I mean,
God, I mean that's next week's. We should talk about that.
It is. We'll punch out, but before I go, I do want to say that now you start thinking about it. I had always said, what the hell happened to Jim Carrey? Because he was so funny and off the fucking wall and all over the place. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, he was funny, but he wasn't as funny. Like, something about him changed. And then there was, he had these moments of craziness when he was on late night shows and all that kind of stuff.
Or like with Emma Stone. Yeah, where he's like, Emma,
I don't remember.
the sex we'd have. It's weird.
But now I'm thinking, I'm like, I wonder if he just broke because he was like, I'm not like this, but you guys are all fucking. I wonder if he was just poking fun at everybody.
I think so. It's like Jester's. Have you heard of Jester's privilege?
No.
It's where the king will murder anybody that talks shit about him in the entire kingdom, except for the jester, where the jester's the one person who can make fun of him because he, like, you know, he'll do dances and make the king laugh and make a fool of himself. And he can say, like, some weird things, but, like, eventually it drives, like, the jester insane because he's essentially alone on an island.
Right.
Where, like, he's like, I can make fun of the king, but I really know I kind of can't. And I'm playing, like, a very dangerous, like, sort of tightrope walk.
I've never heard of that before. It's called Jester's what?
Jester's privilege.
Jester's privilege.
So he was that dude who for, like, 40 years, he's like, haha, I can act weird and funny, and I'm having these monster demons laugh at me.
Yeah.
And I know they could ruin me if they so chose.
And then he just kind of broke, you know? And now I'm wondering if all these years that he's been acting kind of weird and is, you know, is it because he really is nuts, or was he just sitting?
Dude, it's because he walks backstage, he sees a producer flaying a small child on a hot stove.
And I wonder if he's just pointing his finger and being like, you're all fucking pedos.
Well,
you're going to keep paying me and I'm going to keep taking the checks, but you're all fucking whacked.
Yeah. Well, the producer's also just probably like salting the boy in the pan, and he's like, Jim, you crazy lunatic. I could ruin you if I wanted to. And Jim Carrey's like, I'm just going to pat my head and rub my stomach at the same time so you keep laughing and just bottle this up for years.
I mean, I'm thinking Eddie Murphy. Same thing happened to him. I wonder if he saw some shit. And
just got wear on you.
I mean, it's got to, right? If you're just like, dude, you guys all like hurt kids, all because you just want to get your rocks off. I mean, Eddie Murphy. Did you see? And I probably we'll wrap up here.
We did actual Folie. Yeah, we talked about it.
But there's just no comparison to the kind of
it's not
person he is in the first one versus this.
I mean, even as a person, he's not hungry anymore. He's Eddie Murphy. He gets high every single day, rewatches every single one of his movies, laughs hysterically at them.
Right.
Versus like the 20s where he's like, that's him making his career and shit.
Whereas hungry for sure, but there's almost this, there's this sense in him where before he would shit on anybody just for the joke because it was funny, and now he won't do that. Like, he'll make a joke, but it's like almost never at somebody else's expense, and he doesn't want to do. And it was kind of like, I mean, come on, like I mean, where did the bite go? And I wonder if he just saw so much, and he was just like, oh fuck, I can't. Like the people that I work with are all punished by super rich and famous, and like I can't do that anymore. Like, I feel bad for everybody. These are all people just crying. Anyway, all right, late enough. We'll wrap this up, and we'll call it a day, and then get to the weekend, enjoy ourselves. Hopefully, see if my family isn't frozen upstairs. I got to see what that deal's about.
Just like the Disney movie.
Just like the new Disney. All right. With that, we're out. Talk to you later. Enjoy, people.
Godspeed, brother.